Mute.
Sir, namaste. Sir, 5 minutes join sir. Sir. Okay.
Morning, Professor Stephen. How are you? Christopher here.
I am good. Thanks, Christy, for your inquiry. Yeah. Sneha.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I think the registrar is joining in another 5 minutes, so I think protocol demands that he should be allowed to speak first, then followed by the principal, right?
Yes, sir.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Please bear with us for a couple of minutes. Professor C.H. Gopal Reddy, our honorable registrar, is about to join us in a couple of minutes. We'll start the program once he joins.
Yeah, Stevenson, can you see me? I've joined.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
I also joined.
Nice. Thank you. Thank you, Nagesh. Library, Yadgiri.
Professor Stevenson, sir. Good morning. Good morning to everybody, sir.
Good morning. Good morning. I see some messages here. Morning, Srinath. My internet connection is unstable. Okay. Sure. My district is the car. If 100 is the cap for Zoom,
Hello,
then
Namaste,
I'm
sir.
sure one of us will have to give way to, at least one student will have to sacrifice so that Professor Gopal Reddy is in. Because I already see that the count is 99 and it's 100.
Sir, sir, Steve, sir,
we'll be putting this, yeah.
Sir, Steve, sir, this is Ramu. I will go away, sir. No problem. Let students be there, sir.
You will have to. Then we'll matladaali kada. I will request one student at least, because we'll be putting a person so that Professor Gopal Reddy can enter in.
Sir, I'll join on YouTube live. I'll leave this meeting. Amrita.
Yeah.
Okay, good morning, sir. I believe there's no space in this, so I'll join the YouTube live, Kushank. Thank you.
So we can wait till Gopal Reddy sir is ready to join, and then we can ask someone to leave. Just when he's about to join, we can ask someone to leave and then rejoin again.
I think, Steve, the registrar may not be knowing that we are waiting. So we can begin. You can start. Whenever he joins, he will speak. Steve, can you hear me? Steve, can you hear
Stevenson, we
me?
can make a beginning, okay? The large number of people already there.
So please give me a moment. I shall try to call Steve sir and
Yeah, we can make a beginning, okay?
yes, yes.
నా స్టార్ట్ చేద్దామన్నా ఆయన ఎప్పుడు వస్తప్పుడు మాట్లాడతాడు అట్లా
Sir, Steve sir is facing some internet connectivity issues.
బాగుండదు. Let us begin.
Yeah, I think, is Stevenson there?
Sir, Steve sir is facing some internet connectivity issues.
Yeah, we can make a beginning.
Yes, sir. I request everyone to kindly mute your microphones for a few minutes as I begin this meeting. Registrar sir is yet to join, but I shall address him as well. Respected Registrar Professor Gopal Reddy sir, Registrar of Osmania University, our Principal Professor D. Ravinder sir, Arts College, Osmania University, Professor Narinder, Dean, Social Sciences, Professor K. Stevenson, Head, Department of Communication and Journalism, and also all teaching and non-teaching staff of the department as well as of the university who have joined in here in this meeting, and retired faculty of the department who are with us here today, media professionals, our Osmania Journalism alumni members, research scholars, and dear students. It is with a heavy heart that we are all gathered here on this online platform today for the condolence meet in memory of our beloved Professor B. Balaswamy Garu, who left us all in shock and grief as he passed away after a prolonged battle against a COVID-19 infection here at Hyderabad on 7th May 2021. Balaswamy sir needs no introduction. Our hearts and minds know him only too well. His gentle, unassuming demeanor, which disguised a vast repository of knowledge and experience beneath, and a spirit of overflowing kindness and a willingness to help and guide all those around him. These were his defining characteristics, and the sheer number of us shedding tears at his loss today is the mark of a personality well loved and respected by his peers and students. In fact, we have been able to accommodate only 100 participants in this online Zoom meet, and we have facilitated live streaming over YouTube for all others. When the news arrived of his passing late on Friday evening, most of us could not believe it. And we still find it difficult to believe and accept that we have lost such a gem of a teacher and a wonderful human being. Though we never had the opportunity to know more about Professor Balaswamy's early life and childhood, we know that he originally hailed from Guntur and completed his graduation from Nagarjuna University. He completed his PG as well as PhD in journalism from Hyderabad Central University. He was in fact the youngest and the first JRF holder to register for PhD at Central University in the year 1993. And his guide was none other than Professor P.L. Vishweshwar sir. He joined service as assistant professor at the University of Assam, and he went on to become associate professor there. He later applied for the faculty post in Osmania University, and that was upon the advice of Professor Stevenson, our present HOD, and the interview board were extremely impressed with his sharp intellect and communication skills. And the members of the selection panel unanimously chose him for the post, and he joined Osmania University in the year 2004. During his tenure, Professor Balaswamy also held the positions of the head of the department and chairman of Board of Studies. He also guided several students to complete their PhD successfully. There has been such an outpouring of grief on social media after his passing that the department only felt it fit to hold this condolence meet. No words can soothe us through this pain, but speak we must in honor of our dear professor who left us at this young age of 47 years without warning. Hence, I request Professor Reminder, Principal of Arts College, to speak a few words.
Megha, can you request one person to drop, please, so that Professor Gopal Reddy can enter
Yes,
in?
sir. Yes, sir.
One person, please, one student, okay. Please, if you don't
Shall
mind.
I leave, sir? Shall I leave, sir?
Yeah,
Okay, sir. No problem. Sir.
Only join the calls, number drop in.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay, right. Thank you. Thank you.
Steve, sir. Steve, sir. Sir, why don't you start? Then I think followed by the registrar and myself and other colleagues.
Steve, sir, are you there?
Steve, sir.
Please unmute me, yeah, sir.
Yeah. Sir, why don't
Professor Gopal Reddy is trying to enter, but since
already have joined, sir. Sir, I am here, sir. I am.
Right. Thank you very much, sir.
Yes,
thank you, sir. Sir, Megha, you can start with Professor Gopal Reddy, sir.
Yes, sir.
Please, sir, on behalf of the department,
Sir, yes.
I request Professor C.H. Gopal Reddy Garu to please pay his tribute to our beloved colleague, Professor Balaswamy Garu.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us, sir. Please.
Thank you. Friends, of course, very that our dear colleague, Professor Balaswamy, has passed away recently. Rather, he was just taken away from us. I think you know more than me about him, but I think around 3 years back, I think I have once called him to take up an assignment that is in Employment and Guidance Bureau as the director. Initially, he was reluctant to take because the nature is very mild and very humble kind of person. Somehow he was not inclined to take, but I have convinced him. Of course, he has taken that assignment and he was doing wonderfully there. Very fond teacher, and of course respected by many students. And many students, when they come to me also, they were referring to him. His humbleness, particularly his simplicity, the way he interacts with the people, talks to the people. Very nice person. Now has been taken away by the COVID. This is the second case in the university. Mr. Rahman, my own colleague from my own department, has also met the same situation. And this is the second case in the university. Very unfortunate situation. I happened to speak to him when he was in hospital. He was slightly worried also because entire family was affected. But somehow I tried to tell him that some kind of courage is required to face this kind of situation. So he was worrying as to what to do because his family is affected, his children are affected. But I never thought, because the way he was talking to me, I never thought that he will meet this kind of fate. Very unfortunate. It's a loss to university in general and also particularly to the department. I think for many terms he has been the chairperson board of studies, contributed immensely to the department and to the university. Very unfortunate situation. Not only this, because in the university there are so many people who are getting affected. Particularly the non-teaching employees are also getting affected. Somehow, I think we have to take, because it's only our own care which is required now with this kind of pandemic situation. On this occasion, I feel very sorry that Professor Balaswamy is no more. I pray God to give the bereaved family enough courage and conviction to face the loss of Professor Balaswamy. And also I pray God to rest his soul in peace. My heartfelt condolences to the bereaved family. Particularly, I'm thankful to Professor Stevenson for organizing condolence meeting. It's unfortunate that we are not meeting physically. Even the condolences, we have to through this virtual mode only. That is the situation now. Anyway, once again, praying the God to place his soul in peace. I'm thankful to Stephen for making me a part of this condolence meeting. So, thank you, sir. Sir Stephen.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Professor Gopal Reddy, sir. I know you're facing very tough times, affairs of the university. You have taken time off to at least briefly address us. Thank you so much, sir. Yeah, Sneha, thank you so much, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yes,
I now request our principal, Professor Ravinder, to speak a few words.
Good morning to all of you. I think Professor Gopal Reddy Garu, Registrar of University, Head Professor Stevenson, and his friends and colleagues, and his supervisor Professor Vishweshwar, and other colleagues also. I think it's very sad to hear, and at the same time it's a shocking news for me. On 7th night, around 7 o'clock, Professor Steve called me and said that Professor Balaswamy is no more. But it was a very shocking news for me and many colleagues also. In fact, I spoke to him almost 3 to 4 times when he was in hospital, and he was very panicked in the beginning. But I said, don't worry, we are all here and we will definitely help you out. But somehow what happened, we don't know, but almost more than 20 days he was in hospital. But whereas in North College, almost all 4 teachers got affected. But very unfortunate that Balaswamy is no more and he's not with us. And my association with Professor Balaswamy from the last 3.5 years, particularly on most of the academic activities which we have initiated in Arts College, but whenever I assigned any work, but immediately he said yes sir, and he was in the forefront, particularly in conducting the various activities like student-centric activities. And we initiated the academic research committee in the college. For every 15 days, teachers used to present their viewpoint on their research. So Balaswamy was in the forefront, and always whenever we call for any meeting, he was the person with a lot of support to administration and as well as the college. I think it's a big loss for me personally, and at the same time for the department and the university at large. He's a serious academician and committed towards the research, and I found him a serious scholar because we got almost a 1 crore 20 lakhs project in the Arts College under RUSA, where he did a project with Professor Ravinder Kaur on urban local bodies. And if you look at that report, I think very meticulously prepared and presented in the RUSA output 2020, Professor Ravinder Kaur and Professor Balaswamy. But I came to know that much about Balaswamy through Professor Vishweshwar, and he explained his journey in Central University and Assam, and then he joined in Osmania University. And whenever we meet in the ground floor, a very, very pleasant person, and I think I have no words to how to express my the words. I don't have words to express my this thing. But whereas yesterday I read an article on Balaswamy that Manavatavadi Prema Mukti by Ramu and Ratnakar. I think they captured the essence of Balaswamy nature and his style and his work and so on and so forth. I think those who have not looked at that, I think yesterday Namaste Telangana carried that article on, sorry, an obituary on Mr. Balaswamy. Please look into that. And at the same time, it's really a great loss for the department, and a committed teacher, sincere core to the academics and core to the research. And when he got the opportunity to as a professor in Krishna University in Machilipatnam, when he came to me, sir, forward, I said I reluctant. No, don't go anywhere. I think Usmania is the best place to grow or to do research or do whatever you want. But why don't you go for a Mofassil kind of a small university? And I discouraged him, but subsequently he didn't go to that opportunity, that professorship in Krishna University. But somehow I think now it's no more. I think you have to bear, you have to realize the reality. But I request all of you, please take care and uh, take care and your belongings and your family members. And my deep condolences to his deep family. I think I'm very sorry to say this very in the engaged. Because Balaswamy is not with us. I pray his soul is rest in peace. Thank you, Professor Steve, and for giving this in this condolence meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor.
Thank you, sir. I now request Professor Narinder, Dean Social Sciences, to pay his tributes.
Yeah, if Professor Narinder is around, please come in. Well, he may join us later, maybe. If it's okay with Professor Nagesh, shall I request Professor Vishweshwar to come in, please?
Yeah, thank you. Can all of you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I feel terrible to participate in this Zoom meeting. I never thought, that there will be an occasion to have, such a meeting. It is, I have a very, very long association with Professor Balaswamy. A long association because he was my student at the University of Hyderabad. He did an MA program with me. And then, immediately got, even before he got, junior research fellowship, he was my PhD student. Then, he got, junior research fellowship. The point is that I have a very, very long association with him, almost for about 30 years. I feel terrible. I really do not have, I'm at a loss to, to talk about, Professor Balaswamy. I've been in touch with him when he was in hospital, even before, when he had mild symptoms. I called him and he also called me. He spoke to me. I said, Balaswamy, go and get tested. And after getting tested, he said, it was proved negative. And then later he said, it's a mild, chest infection. He did discuss with me to which hospital to he go. Then I said, maybe, you could come to Yashoda Hospital in Secunderabad because, I said, I know a couple of people there, but anyway, he took a decision. He joined the hospital and I was in touch with him in those 20 days, I must have spoken to him for 10 times. Whenever he didn't receive a call, he called me back and he said, sir, and I'm recovering. I did find, that he was breathless to speak, but he was sure, a day before, I spoke to him. He said, he'll be out of the hospital in a day or two. Then I spoke to Professor Stevenson. He also gave me some kind of an assurance that, Balaswamy will be out in a day or two. And it's terrible that, such a young person with so much of contribution, you would have made in the next, 30, 35, 40 years. Personally, it's a very, very big loss for me because he used to be in touch with me. I used to be in touch with him to know about, about the department or what's happening in the field of journalism education. And with such a fine human being, not only, these, what's there in the social media earlier. Whenever I meet any student, they used to say that, Professor Balaswamy is there in the department. He's very, very helpful, very encouraging, and he motivates, students. Comes from a very humble background because I know him. When I gave him admission, I knew his background at that point of time. And later, he worked with a PhD in a very important area of how media can be used for development communication. Later, he has published that book, and that book has been a textbook for several schools of journalism. And I think, certainly has made, enormous kind of an impact among young people, both, where he taught in Assam and particularly in Osmania University for the last, 14 or 15 years or so. And he was taking a lot of interest in student activity. He was a very inspiring person, very kind and humble. And I've never seen, a person with that kind of a humbleness and a humility all through. Whenever you interact with him, that kind of a humility came through. And he was a lot of support for me personally, and also in any kind of an academic activity. When we launched, in the university, in the distance education, the course in MA Public Relations and Communication, and me and Balaswamy worked together on several days, and we were very keen, that program should be launched, and there was a lot of support for me. And when I was working there, any kind of a issue I had, any kind of a problem I had, I always used to approach, Professor Balaswamy, and he used to solve the problem. I really do not have, I couldn't take the shock, when Professor Narinder called me and told me that, Balaswamy is no more, and such a big loss for the family, and and also a big loss for the department, because he was young and he would have continued in the department for another 15 years or so. And I was always looking at, there'll be some kind of a continuity of a talented professor, committed professor, will take on the department and try to build up the department for the next next 15 years or so. I really, shattered, to know one of my own student, passing away at such a young age, and may the, family take this massive personal loss. I knew both his children, I knew his family very well, and we were always talking about, how, you should perhaps, give, what is the nature of, in fact, last time I spoke to him about 2 months ago, I said, you should send his children to America to do his master's. And that is the kind of a proximity we had. And whenever we used to go out, he used to take care of me, and all my needs. I feel, personally, it is a big, big loss for me. Academically, it's a big loss for Usmania University, for the Department of Journalism. And I think, we need to have, what is that, we learn from his death, the commitment, the dedication, the honesty of purpose, and the kind of a humility he has in terms of, I think one of the qualities of a teacher is to have that kind of a humbleness and empathy in terms of, trying to motivate and inspire students. That is what, we learn from Professor Balaswamy's personality. That I think, all the qualities of a teacher, which, we are supposed to have, Professor Balaswamy really embodied them. I hope, some of us, learn from his quality, and may his soul is rest in peace. May his family, take, this big loss. Professor Stevenson has already initiated how perhaps, we could go about, help the family. I am with Professor Stevenson and the department in trying to see that, family gets the kind of support, within the framework of the rules of Osmania University. I will be there. I've already assured, Professor Stevenson, I'll be with him in time trying to, support his family in this hour of, massive crisis, which his family faces, 2 children he has got. May his soul rest in peace. May family take, this massive loss, and may the department also has to take this massive loss in terms of, trying to, continue our academic activity. I thank all of you for giving me this opportunity, and I know there are a lot of, participants are there, and I've been seeing all the social media messages, and I've read that article which was published in Namaste Telangana yesterday, which embodies all the qualities of Professor Balaswamy. Thank you very much. I'm happy several faculty have joined. I really don't want to say anything. I'm really at a loss to say anything more. Let's hope, that we take this big loss, and life in Professor Balaswamy, we're losing him. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir,
Yeah.
for that touching tribute. We do not have Steve, sir, with us right now because he's facing some internet connectivity issues. He's trying to rejoin. I request any one person, maybe one of the students, to just drop out, and maybe you can rejoin later so that Steve, sir, can join in now. Is Professor Narinder there?
Yeah,
Narinder, sir? Sir, I request you to speak a few words, sir.
what do I say? I'm just shocked. I don't even know how to phrase his loss. Personally, was a very dear friend, and I've had umpteen opportunities to interact with him, to know about the subject, to know about how to go about handling job, and to help students in bailing out from any of the crises. Balaswamy was such a humble soul, such a great loss to me in person. I just can't take this. I'm really really moved. I don't even know how the department will survive without Balaswamy. I never thought that we will have a meeting of this nature to pay a tribute to a very, very dear person. A young guy losing his life is unbearable. It is something that will be with us forever. I think it is a loss which is unfathomable, which every one of us feel. But in the hour of crisis, I pray God to give enough strength to the family and to the fraternity so that we tide over the crisis and emulate Balaswamy in every possible way, taking in particular his humble nature, a man of great humility. To lose somebody like him is just not bearable. I've been I've been ruminating on his loss for the past 3 days. I don't know it'll continue with me forever. A very personal loss. I pray God to give a whole lot of strength to all of us and to the family. And anything possible from my side, I am there always. Thank you so much for the opportunity to say these words. I mustered a lot of courage to speak on this occasion. I'm really sorry. I've lost a great, great friend in Balaswamy. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Your pain is palpable even through this online platform. Thank you so much. I now request any of our current professors, maybe Professor Nageshwar Rao, sir, to share his thoughts.
Yeah, can you hear me, Sneha?
Yes, sir.
It's extremely difficult for a habitual speaker like me to speak coherently in on such an occasion. Well, I can't believe, and we don't want to believe it also. He has come, is a wonderful human being, a very wonderful friend, and in my decades of association with the department, whenever I come to the department, most often the first person whom I used to meet was Professor Balaswamy. And as already been said, it's really difficult to emulate Professor Balaswamy's personality for a simple reason that I have never seen him angry. I have never seen him indifferent. I have never seen him intolerant, and always calm, clear, and peaceful. I always used to tell, how can you maintain such a stable mood for so long? In fact, I get impatient quite a number of times, but I have never seen him because in a worst situation, when there's a lot of crisis in the department also, he never lost his patience, and he was always peaceful. That is something which all of us have to recollect and emulate. Secondly, this department always has students coming from diverse socioeconomic backgrounds. And Professor Balaswamy was always at the forefront to make them comfortable because he has come from a very modest background. He's a son of a small farmer, very poor farmer, at 2 acres of land, comes from a very oppressive social background, coming from the banks of River Krishna in the village which is now displaced, a part of the Amaravati region, come from such a small village, very oppressive social background, and a very small farmer, born to a small farmer. He has rose to a level of one of the very important professors in the journalism and mass communication field. That is surprisingly a great achievement given his modest beginnings. And he valiantly fought for 22 days with COVID. And one lesson all of us should learn is, I think when I spoke to the doctors at the hospital at Kachiguda, nearly 20 days back, sir, the doctors told me, sir, I think he was a little late to the hospital. I think for a week, he was facing this problem. By the time we have come to know, already 3-4 days have gone. And all of us in the department were monitoring his health, we're helping him all the time. So by the time he got admitted to the hospital, it was a little late, but we never thought that this will happen. And Ramesh, one of our students who has been continuously monitoring his health, told me a day before also that, sir, he is likely to recover because he doesn't have any other comorbidity conditions. No blood pressure, no sugar. And I spoke to the doctor, the hospital administrator, Mr. Prithvi, a week before. And later I spoke to Balaswamy. He said, sir, I'm fine, because he wanted to shift to the some other hospital, care hospital we're trying. And initially we tried at Apollo and got the bed also, but he said he's fine with this hospital. So we never thought that this will happen. There was a blood clot in the lungs, and medication was there, but surprisingly, he succumbed to this. I think he has 2 sons, both of them are not yet settled. I don't think he will even get a pension. So I only request the university administration to help in the rehabilitation of the family. So we will definitely follow it up with the administration, follow it up with the government if required, try to help the family in this hour of crisis. So because that's our responsibility and duty to do so. And I was suggesting Professor Stevenson that we would institute an annual lecture series in memory of Professor Balaswamy, so that we can at least do something to remember him forever. So he was always concerned with the students coming from poor and deprived backgrounds. So we lost a wonderful friend. It is a personal loss to all of us and a great loss to the department, because myself, Stevenson and Narinder will retire around the same time in another couple of years. So I think the next generation leadership would have fallen on him. So he's already the chairman of the Board of Studies. But surprisingly, well, this happened, and I only hope that all of us will come out of this grief and loss, and will support the family in whatever form it is possible. I only request the university administration once again to kindly come forward whenever we approach them. So thank you very much.
I would mention, Professor Nageshwar, that university is always supportive of the this kind of situations. Actually, there is we have certain rules are there where we can give job to one of his family members. Certain formalities are to be filled up, like they have to make an application along with the death certificate, and if more than one family members are there, then the remaining family members have to some kind of affidavit as to whom to the job has to be given. So university will immediately process that, and definitely a permanent job will be given to one of his family members, either
thank you, Professor, for
madam or to the children. Yeah, some suitable
thank
job
you, sir.
will be
Thank you
given.
for immediate response, sir.
Yes. Okay, sir.
Thank you, Professor Gopal Reddy, for that initiative. You've given us some hope and confidence. We thank you.
Yes.
Professor Stevenson already told me that he has spoken to you, and I think it's all our responsibility to help the family.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
And even is I think if he's eligible for any pension, that will also be done.
Yeah.
The process can be done immediately also.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much to Registrar sir also for his inputs there. I now request some of our retired faculty to share their thoughts. Dr. Padmaja ma'am is here with us, and so is Dr. Sham Sunder sir. I'll probably ask Padmaja ma'am if she is there to begin.
Good morning to all of you. And in the wildest dreams, I did not imagine that we would be meeting for a purpose like this, and talking about Balaswamy in the past tense. He was also a very dear friend. Many people have said much about how wonderful he was as a scholar, how student-friendly he was. There was also one aspect of him which used to actually light up our days in the department. He was a poet. He used to write creative writing and poetry, which he used to share with us. He was multidimensional in his interests. He could recite classical poetry and all with great flair. He was also a great mimicry artist. He was such a personality that he would, whenever you talk to him or interact with him, he would actually create a lot of joy around him. And whenever we were troubled with any kind of conflict in the department by way of administrative issues, he would always see something funny or a sense of humor in perspective. The way he used to react was always a lesson about how to see the world, and the constant calmness he brought around him. Being a very calm person himself, he would put things in perspective quickly in such a way that they would bring he would bring a kind of sense to the whole situation and how to respond to something. And I was constantly amazed at his ability to do that. And it is fundamentally out of, he's basically a humanist, not a person who would find fault, would always try to understand. So whenever, if somebody had a complaint about a student also, he would always explain, not as a right and wrong, but put it in perspective that these things do happen and this is the way to respond to it. So it was constant learning. I learned a lot from this man, who I used to look forward to interactions with him. And the warmth with which he used to look at the world and understand it and talk about it, I think it's invaluable as a person. And the fact that he's so successful in what he did, the fact that so many people depended on him for support, for help, for whatever, it is a testament to his wonderful personality, his deep humanity there in interacting with people. And he understood always empathy was there, understood how the other person was feeling before he responded to it. And I think that's an invaluable character, invaluable quality of any successful teacher. And I think he had that quality in abundance. And it is deeply, deeply disturbing to know that we won't be able to meet him again. Just last month, I dropped by at the department and he was there. And as usual, we had a very long chat about everything under the sun, sharing so many ideas, sharing so much information. And some of the most pleasant interactions in the department were all done with him, actually. So it is personally also, I feel like it's a personal loss for me also. And I feel losing someone like that at this point of time for the department is a serious blow. And I hope the department finds the strength and the ability to carry on and to rebuild from something as severe a loss as this. And I genuinely pray that his family finds the strength also to cope with this. And all of us, like the Sir Registrar was just mentioning, if the systems and everything cooperate and actually provide the succor that's needed, that is the physical part of it. The emotional loss, no one can fulfill. So I do hope that they find the strength. The children are young to cope with this and come out of it and manage. So with those words, I would like to pay my deep tributes to Balaswamy as an old friend and a very dear friend at that. And I deeply regret the loss all of us are facing today.
Thank you, ma'am. You enlightened us about some of the aspects of his personality we did not even know about. We wish we had got to know Balaswamy sir much better, and that we could have known all the other aspects of him which contributed to him being such a wonderful person. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for your words. I now request Sham Sunder sir to come forward to share his thoughts.
Good morning, everybody. I can't believe that Balaswamy is really. From the day he joined the department, he never found like strangers. He's not from our department or the university. He's from the University of Hyderabad. But even before joining the department, he used to visit and to meet Professor KLV or visit the department. And he used to talk so in such a friendly manner. He never felt that he did not belong to the department. And ultimately, when he joined the department, we were more like friends than colleagues. And he was a dedicated teacher. And he never tried to avoid any kind of responsibility. Always with a smile, he said, "Okay, sir, I'll do it." So he respected everybody, irrespective of the stature of the person. And I can't believe I've never seen such a humble and good human being. And he was so unassuming, and we could not even know his talent. And only during the lunch hour, we all always used to sit together and have lunch. And during that time, he would come out with his dialogue and entertain everybody. So when the situation was different outside, and he used to come out and then show his real talent, the kind of talent he had. So it is unbelievable that Balaswamy is no more. And whenever he used to call me for any kind of meetings and all, he called such a humility and with respect. And I can't believe anybody can do that. And we together work in different areas on different targets in the department. We will always help him. He never said. And though he was not a local candidate in the sense that we have in the university, the Telangana feeling, though he's an outsider that way, but no student felt that. And he was every student loved him, and he also he was given responsibility as the warden of the hostel. And though he was scared, but he did not face much trouble because he was so loving and nobody could complain. So whatever responsibility he handled with care. And I don't think we had any kind of differences in the department at any point of time. So he contributed his contribution to the department. We can never forget. So, and always, even when I was handling any kind of publication and all, I asked his help. He would willingly say, "Okay." I never had, I can't do anything or can't take up any kind of responsibility. So it is a great loss, not only the but also to journalism education. And it was always inspiring and motivating to students. And it's true, he was an example. He set an example that through hard work, one can reach any level. It is unbelievable coming from a humble background. He could take a professor in the university. And so I had very few occasions where really, and particularly our college day celebrations or get-togethers in which we would come out with really funny dialogues and all. So entertain everybody. They showed his real talent. So I can't forget him forever. He was always there whenever I needed help in the department. So most of the students never refused any kind of help to anyone. He welcomed everybody with open arms to do whatever he could do. So I wish the family had the courage to take this issue. Condolences to the family. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Professor Srinath Reddy, sir, who is also one of our retired faculty, is here. Sir, would you like to speak? Sir, you're muted, sir. Please unmute yourself.
Thank you, Sneha. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. We can hear you now. Sir, are you there?
Sneha, I just tried. Okay, I'm
Sir, your voice is dropping, sir. Steve, sir, your voice is dropping.
Am I audible?
Very faintly, sir.
Sneha,
am I audible, Sneha?
Yes, sir. Now, you're Srinath Reddy, sir, even you're audible now. Yes, sir. Sir, Srinath Reddy, sir, is about to speak.
Sorry, I had some neck problems.
Sneha, just a minute. When I am in, please let me in.
Yes,
because
sir.
I don't know when my connection is going to snap. Okay.
Yes, sir.
My apologies to Srinath. Please speak me
No,
after
okay,
me
please
because
go
I am
ahead.
facing terrible problems. I believe the cable is cut. I am using my first internet connectivity. Hope I am audible. Right?
Yes, sir. You're audible now. Please stay on the same connection, sir. Thank you. Srinath Reddy, sir.
Sneha?
Yes, sir, you are.
Okay. Right. Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
sir. Srinath, sir, can we?
Yeah.
Yes.
So thank you, Sneha, and hello, everybody. A few weeks before, and probably a few days before he was hospitalized, I had a very long chat with him, long even by my standards. We spoke everything, and at the end of the chat, we said, we'll be meeting at an informal meeting to be organized by the Dean, Professor Narinder, and where we can have everything. We can talk to each other. And then the next time I talked, he was in hospital. I phoned him just to inquire about Steve. And he did not tell me that he was in hospital. Then he told me about Steve, and he also informed me about Kennedy. And only towards the end, he said, I am hospitalized. But he didn't sound so bad. There was anxiety a bit large in his sound, in his voice. But I told him that we should come out of it and we will have a meeting. Don't think of any negative things and all that. But little did I imagine that, a few days after that, we'll be having a meeting like this, talking about him in the past. Well, what do we say about him? Most of the qualities he being an epitome of humility, a self-effacing character, and most of the qualities that were mentioned by the previous speakers, and particularly the article written by Ramu and Ratnakar, I think they say it all. But most of those qualities were not cultivated. He was born with them. And the first time, I just had some kind of a glimpse into his personality was when he joined our department, and he was addressing technical staff and support staff with great respect. He was addressing Subhan Garandi, that rebellious personality. And another aspect of his was even if somebody makes an irrational demand, he would never say no. So I heard this, the way he used to deal with impossible demands and all that, and I told him that he was like Saint Francis of Assisi, who never knows how to say no. So that kind of a personality is a very rare one. But one aspect of his this thing, Professor Padmaja touched was he was at his creative best, during our lunchtime when we used to have a lunch together. He used to articulate about his land, about his people. He was so grounded that he would get great gratification about speaking. He wanted to articulate about the background he came from and all that. But the most creative aspect of it was he used to sing verses from from classical poetry and even modern poetry. He had a great taste for poetry. I think that facet of personality probably was not exposed to everybody, but that was too obvious, during our lunchtime. So I used to give a kind of a template headline to what he used to tell us under Amaravati Kathan. So I used to ask, when will be your next episode of Amaravati Kathan? And in my last talk with him also, I mentioned this. But anyway, it's a great loss to everybody he has come across, great loss to every one of us. I'm only thinking about the family. He has struggled so hard to come here. And I think we all have responsibility to whatever we can do. May his soul rest in peace. May God give strength to our family, his family, in this hour of crisis. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. We have some of sir's research scholars and students also here. Steve sir has also joined back. Yes, sir.
Come in, Sneha. Can I come in, please?
Yes, sir.
Sneha, can I come in?
You are already in, sir.
Take or champion of the food or course of action.
I request everyone else to kindly mute their mics.
Yeah, I am extremely. Yeah, okay. Now, shall I go ahead?
Yes.
My apologies.
So your voice is still breaking off.
Respected deans, professors,
I request everyone to please wait for a few minutes as we reconnect with Stevenson, sir.
Sneha, can I express myself? Sneha, can I express myself?
Yes, sir, please.
Yes. Good morning, everyone. Let me first, thank Professor Stevenson and all other members of the department and others associated in, organizing this condolence meeting in memory of late Professor Balaswamy of Journalism and Communication Department, Usmania University. On behalf of the Department of AIC or the
Sir, I'm sorry you've gone mute. Could you please unmute yourself once?
Am I clear now?
Yes, sir, we can hear you now. Girdhar sir, I think you've gone mute again. Girdhar sir, you've gone mute again. Please unmute yourself.
Sneha, can I say a few words? I am Professor Karunakar.
Yes, sir. Professor Karunakar, please speak. We'll continue with Girdhar sir later.
Okay. I am Professor Karunakar, Dean Faculty of Arts, Usmania University. On behalf of Arts faculty, I express my heartfelt condolences to his family members. I don't have much interaction with Professor Balaswamy, but whenever I met him in any meeting, we used to exchange the wishes, I mean, he used to wish warmly. And this is, he seems to be a very gentle and a soft-spoken person. Whatever is to say in what we call in a few words, but that is to mean a lot and is to contribute a lot to the what we call to the meeting. It makes a sense. A person, of this very engaged, is passing away untimely. It's a great loss to the department, not only the department, to the university at large, and to the entire teaching fraternity of journalism department, and also to the research scholars. I really felt very sad when I heard the news, and immediately I called our principal, Arts College principal, to know the truth. And when he said, yes, whatever I heard is true, then I really went into shock, because though, we didn't had a much interaction, but, the way he used to, talk to us in the meetings or outside the meeting hall is to mean a lot. A great person, a great loss to the department and to the knowledge. I'm really sorry for that. May God give a place in his kingdom. May his soul in rest. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Karunakar sir. I now request Girdhar sir to please
Hello,
continue.
Sneha ma'am.
Yes.
Sneha ma'am, Steve sir's network connection is unstable. So he is on call with me. I'll put him on speaker, and that's how he wants to address. So if you can just give
Right, we can do that. Girdhar sir, please give us a few minutes till Steve sir speaks. Thank you. Frani, please, Steve
Yes,
sir
ma'am.
on
Yes,
speaker.
just a second. Ma'am, I think you can take another speaker, and in the meantime, Steve sir will get connected.
All right, fine.
Yes.
Get there, sir. Then we shall continue with you. Thank you.
Thank you. So, on behalf of the staff, students, research scholars, and senior professors of the Department of AIHC, Osman University, I first would like to thank, Professor Stevenson and all others associated in the department in conducting this condolence meeting and tribute meeting, in memory of late Professor Balaswamy. I have known Balaswamy for more than 2 decades. And all along he has come as a very good academician with a penchant for perfect research. And on top of it, he was a very wonderful, not only a wonderful colleague, but also a wonderful human being. A lot of humility and humbleness. Seldom can one come across a person, so humble. Even though he had a very humble beginning, by a sheer dint and ability and hard work, he has climbed the ladder of success and proved his credentials as an academician and a very good research guide in the field of journalism and communication. And he has proved his credentials time and again in outside universities, in Assam and in Osman University. We have worked together as colleagues and as well-wishers for the system. And we were members of several committees and we were involved in various academic and research activities. And he has always come across as a wonderful human being, very supportive, very humble. And he was very focused. And any issue, if it used to come up, he used to try to tackle it in a very simple and humble way. And he was always supportive in so many endeavors of our department. All the senior professors who spoke to me after hearing his sad and sudden demise, I expressed their shock. And on behalf of them and the department, I would like to, express my heartfelt condolence to all the members of the bereaved family. And also, I pray to God that, his soul should rest in peace. His sudden demise is a great personal loss to the family, a great loss to the department, great loss to the college, and a great loss to the cause of education and the field of journalism and communication. It is irreparable loss. The last interaction I had with him, apart from several meetings held in the college under the guidance of our honorable principal, Professor Ravinder, was on the occasion of PhD Viva Overseas in the department, just a month and a half back. So I requested him, because we are finding it difficult in this pandemic situation to find a subject expert to deal with a specific, PhD Viva department. He immediately responded. He came in, and because of his support, we were able to, award the PhD to one of the candidates. And because of that participation of Professor Balaswamy's guidance and subsequent awarding of the doctorate, that particular individual immediately got a promotion in the degree college, which was pending for a very long time. And that kind of also expressed thanks to Professor Balaswamy immediately. I'm finding it difficult to find words to express, because this sudden, demise has come as a shock. Before he fell sick and after he fell sick, I was in touch with him. And I also spoke with the doctors, and there was an assurance given that, he will recover back. And even in my wildest of my dreams, I never expected, he would pass away. So still, it is a very great shock to me and all the faculty members in the university. So once again, I express my heartfelt condolence on behalf of myself and everyone in the Department of Archaeology. and on behalf of the senior professors who expressed their shock on his demise. At the same time, I would like to thank our Honorable Registrar, Professor Gopal Reddy, for coming forward immediately with a positive response that he will, try to rehabilitate one of the family members in the university system with a job. That is a great gesture, and personally, I would like to thank you on behalf of the department for such a wonderful gesture. So with these few words, I thank everyone for giving an opportunity to express myself, and I'm really shocked, and I'm finding it difficult to find words. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for sharing your thoughts. We have...
I'm Vayal Srinivas here, if you comment.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, we can hear you.
Yeah. I thank the Department of Journalism for organizing this meet. I just take a minute. I heard about Balaswamy long ago. I met him much later, but I used to hear very good things about him because he was associated with one of the colleges, with which I had association, Rachana College of Journalism. The principal and students used to tell me about Professor Balaswamy. I was working in Women's College Koti, but later I met in Women's College Koti, and he helped a great deal, in developing Department of Journalism in Women's College Koti. And later, when I came here to Arts College, I really, it was a revelation to meet Professor Balaswamy, and his simplicity, his humility, baffles you out of thoughts. In fact, he was such a nice man. Whenever we used to meet each other, he used to speak with so much warmth, and he was so proactive in any academic kind of initiative. I have seen him in Rachana College and had seen in Women's College Koti, and I was witness to his work and his dedication in Arts College. I think Department of Journalism, Usmania University, lost a great teacher and a wonderful human being and a illustrious scholar. And this void, I think, is very, very difficult to kind of bridge. I express my deep condolences to the bereaved family, and in the case department is planning to help the family in whichever way it is planning. I would want to make personal contribution, out of respect for the family. Not that these personal contributions would matter, but they are expressions of our gratitude to a person, because we pray to God to create more people like Balaswamy. That's how we perhaps pay our respects to Balaswamy and his memory. Thank you, Sneha. Thanks for the opportunity.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. As you said, I'm sure we would all be willing to join you in any efforts that would be made to assist Balaswamy sir's family. We have Professor Stevenson. Yes.
Yeah. First, let me apologize. I think my network is snapping. My internet connection has been unstable. I checked with the local fellow. He says some cables are cut and they are repairing. That's the reason I am in and out of this meeting. Okay. My apologies to each one of you. I really thank all the senior professors of the university who have joined this meeting. I see Professor Vagre, Dean of the Faculty of Technology, Professor Karunakar, Professor Giridhar, and a number of people who have made it convenient to join this meeting, which is very, very unfortunate. And I didn't expect we'll be using Zoom to have a condolence meeting in memory of Professor Balaswamy Garu. Let me be very brief. I think most speakers have been talking a lot about Professor Balaswamy Garu, but let me share my few thoughts about Professor Balaswamy. Let me begin by quoting T.S. Eliot. T.S. Eliot in his poem Wasteland says, April is the cruelest month. April is the cruelest month, and breeding lilacs out of the dead land. I think this is how he starts his poem Wasteland. There are no lilacs which have been breeding, but let me tell you that April has been cruel to the department because we lost 3 people in succession. First, it was E.P. Yesudas, a very young digital professional. Then we had Kennedy, who, though he was not a part of the department, yes, he, as a faculty member, he was a student, he was a research scholar. Then he was at the EMRC. Later, he became a faculty member. So that's the association Kennedy had with the department. And then, even before we recovered from these two big losses, then we had Professor Balaswamy's death. Very, very unfortunate, very untimely. If you were to describe this as a colossal tragedy, I think these two words just do not suffice. I've been receiving innumerable messages in my WhatsApp groups where they have been describing him with, as a person with a gentle soul, a noble person, a person who is very humble, soft-spoken, unassuming. I think he's a friend, a philosopher, guide, will be missed forever. I think the compassionate person, knowledge house, right? I think I can go on and on when I just run through some of these messages which I've been receiving for the past couple of days. Well, I have no hesitation to say that, this overwhelming grief which has been pouring in from not just students, research scholars, but also teaching staff, non-teaching staff across the university. It shows the kind of love and respect he has earned for himself. I think it is his, I think the qualities in him which have actually endeared himself to a lot number of people across the university. Well, he had this very endearing smile, a humanist to the core. I think we just can't forget his. I mean, the cellar will never be the same. Okay, the classes will not echo with his voice. I think it's a real loss. I mean, a loss, a void which cannot be filled, a void which cannot be filled in the family members, for the family members, a void which cannot be filled in the university, nor the department, or different, even in the hostels, because he was a warden in the hostels also. My association with Professor Balaswamy dates back to the 90s when he was doing his PhD. He used to come to the department just for some kind of advice. After that, he completed his PhD under Professor Vishweshwar. I don't want to repeat that. He went on to become a faculty member at Assam University. And in fact, I was on the interview board when he was selected, and the interview board was impressed. Okay, they said, okay, we can't get a better person like like Professor Balaswamy, although he was praised in a very harsh terms by some board members. I think he very, very coolly answered all their questions in his own inimitable, calm style. I mean, that is one great quality in him. He never angered anyone. Okay, if he had a point to make, he definitely made his point. Okay, so I mean, I don't want to go on and on about his qualities because I'm sure there are other speakers who would also focus on this. But just a brief about what happened. I mean, probably Professor Balaswamy got infected maybe in his surroundings there, in his flats or whatever. And I would like to point out one gentleman, okay, who's a research scholar, Professor Mr. Ramesh, who actually forced him to go on for the CT scanning test, though he was reluctant, okay. So when other machines were not working in and around Karunakar and other places, he took him all along to, I think, somewhere in Dilshuk Nagar to get him tested, CT scan. I think Professor Balaswamy had this reluctance to go to that place, but somehow we got the CT scan done. After that, he approached a local physician, whom I also approached, who treated him for some viral fever. By then, he had already taken some CT, some X-rays, etc., etc. Then, when it came to hospitalization, I know there was a great amount of difficulty because by then I was hospitalized. Then this gentleman, Ramesh Palbai, who is an assistant professor at Siddipet, I think after great difficulty, he would manage one bed in this Telangana government designated COVID specialty hospital in Kachiguda. Okay, so he said, sir, at least now I'm happy that he'll be under medication and I'm sure he'll get out of it. So while treatment was on midway, there were thoughts, as Professor Nageshwar pointed out, that we would move him out of this hospital so that, probably hoping that there will be better Medicare and he would recover fast. But Professor Balaswamy said, he was very content with the kind of treatment they were giving, and he was also showing signs of improvement. Okay, that went on, and I don't think there's anyone in the department who has not contacted him while he was in hospital. I think each of these faculty members, Professor Narinder, he was contacting his own doctor friends, trying to seek their advice. Professor Nageshwar, I think he was speaking to every other doctor. Okay, I was speaking to doctors. In fact, I spoke to Balaswamy quite a number of times. I sent messages to him to stay strong, to stay positive, so that he doesn't suddenly go into that state of depression. I think this was something which, and just 2 days before this uneventful thing happened, he called me and he was talking just like an ordinary person. Earlier, at least, I noticed that there was some kind of discomfort while he was speaking, some breathing problem. But then I said, okay. Then it was heartening to know that, the doctors told him that with another 2 or 3 days will be out of the hospital. So we were actually making arrangements to get some oxygen cylinders and oxygen concentrators fixed at home, so that just in case he needs oxygen, it would be available to him. So this was a kind of positive, optimism which we were nurturing and hoping that Professor Balaswamy would again join us. Okay. In fact, when first year students were asking me, I said I think it's a matter of time. He'll be joining us. So, but the last day, I think there were some violent fluctuations in his oxygen levels. So that's what I was told, and he was moved to the ICU. Then I know Ramesh rushed there, and though he himself tested positive after he was associated with Mr. Balaswamy. He's a shattered man now. He has isolated himself. Okay, he went to the ICU, and he actually sent me some pictures which are very, very disturbing to say. So on that day night, I think 7 o'clock he passed away. By the time all discharge formalities were completed, it was about 12 o'clock in the midnight, and this gentleman came back home. I mean, why I'm singling out this person is not because he has done something great, but yes, at a time when own kith and kin distanced themselves from COVID patients, here was one gentleman who was very exemplary, and not only he, I think even our non-teaching staff, they were constantly inquiring, they were talking to their own contacts in the ministry, trying to see if doctors can pay him more attention. I know, towards the end, all our efforts, I think, did not fructify, and he ultimately succumbed on 7th at 7 p.m. And so very unfortunate. Okay, we were told that things would stabilize as far as his oxygen levels are concerned, which didn't happen. But one thing was that he had a stubborn clot in his lungs, I think, which did the damage. So very unfortunate. In fact, I would, he was always there for me, for me and the department, okay, for any kind of task assigned to him. He was never a person who was interested in, let us say, official positions. And let me be very honest, okay. Twice he was supposed to be the head. He said, sir, I would rather see you in this position rather than me. And he said, I am very content with being the Board of Studies chairman. I'll continue with this. You please be the head. So he is one person never hankered for any kind of positions or power. I remember when he was the head also, he never sat in that head's chair. He always used to sit in that other room which was actually allocated for the Center for Advanced Study. So anyone who approached the head's chamber would not find him in the head chamber. He used to sit somewhere there. we always, I mean, I at least told him, sir, మీరు ఇట్లా కాదు, మీరు ఇక్కడ కూర్చోవాలి. You have to be here because you are the head. You should occupy this chair. No, I mean, I don't know why, what prevented him, but he used to sit in the other chair. Even all the clerical staff used to go to him to the other room to get signatures. That is one thing. I mean, the other thing which I used to tell him, sir, you know, we three of us, myself, Professor Nagesh, and Professor Narinder, we are all going to retire in a couple of days, and you'll have to actually take over this mantleship, headship. So you be prepared for all these things. But he used to say, always say, no, sir, no, మీరు ఉండాలండి. I don't know. I mean, this was the kind of approach. I know in some cases there are people who long to be in certain positions, but here was one gentleman who never aspired. I mean, if he was rewarded with some kind of an assignment, it was because of his commitment, because of his dedication. Okay, you could find him at 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock in the evening also, spending time with his research scholars. Okay, and when he excelled in his domain, electronic media, films. Okay, one unknown facet of his, I don't know how many of you know, some student may be knowing that he is a good, he used to mimic all old, I mean, old-time actors, Telugu actors, okay? Whenever we had these farewell functions and welcome parties and faculty members were asked to do something, at least we had nothing to show. Professor Balaswamy had this exceptional talent where he used to mimic these actors, whether it is Krishna or Gopal Rao, or and made things lighter during these meetings. Okay, it's it's a really a terrible void for us. I mean, for the university, for the department, for the family. I really don't know how things will pan out in the near future, but I really feel sorry for him because I know he used to stay in the same locality as me, and whenever we used to travel together, either I gave him a ride on my car, or maybe sometimes he used to come and pick me up on his kinetic Honda. Okay, but one person who used to get disturbed with small things, okay, with small niggles of when health, I used to share, sir, నాకు ఇలా అవుతుంది, ఏమైనా అవుతుందా సార్, అవన్నీ చిన్న you don't have to worry about it. Even in the hospital, when he developed chest pain towards the right side, we told him that it could be muscular pain, maybe because you slept on one side. So, so that kind of, I don't know, anxiety used to fill him for even so small things, because a very sensitive person, and very fond of his children, and not only children, his own sisters and brothers. Okay, he used to stay there, and we had this enormous patience. We used to travel a lot. Okay, maybe to Vijayawada, to Visakhapatnam. Okay, attending meetings and all. I used to admire. I used to tell him, sir, Miru, how do you manage this kind of long tours? Because we can't manage. We are tired after going out to one particular place. Okay, but nevertheless, I think he was one person who we all will be missing, not just students, teachers, but research scholars. We all will be missing. But before I conclude, I would like to just borrow a few words from Thomas Gray, who said, he is a gem with the serene purity, which is serene. I think he was a gem of a person. Okay, I think that is how I would sum up. But untimely entry into heavenly board, that's what I would say. Okay, as Professor Gopal Reddy said, he has been taken away from us. Okay, so it's very untimely. So very sorry. My deep condolences to the family members. Okay, I know there is grief which is hanging in the air. There is despair, there is distress, but certain things are beyond our control. So may his soul rest in peace. Thank you very much, Neha, for this opportunity. And I am
Thank you,
fortunate
sir.
that thank you. Right.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
We have a request from Dr. K. Jyotirmay, HOD of the Department of Journalism, Krishna University. Madam would like to speak. Ma'am, are you there?
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Respected all, I'm Dr. Jyotirmayi, HOD of the Department of Journalism and Mass Communication, Krishna University. On behalf of the department, I thank the organizers for giving me the opportunity to express my deep condolences to Professor Balaswamy Garu. I know him, Professor Balaswamy, as a teacher and researcher in the Department of Journalism. And above all, he is a man of humbleness. Really, we were extremely shocked when we hear this, that Professor Balaswamy Garu is no more. Our department scholars and faculty members who are expressed their deep condolences to the Professor Balaswamy Garu, and I have a good association with him personally, as well as the Department of Journalism of Krishna University, because he is a member of BOS in the department, and we were very happy when Professor Balaswamy got selected and is going to join in our department as professor, because we believe that Professor Balaswamy will be a great asset to our department as well as our university. He's going to be a strength to the department. We think without that, but unfortunately, because of various reasons, he came to our university, but to get permission to join later. But unfortunately, he could not able to join in the department. But I can surely say that it's a big loss to the department and also the young academicians like me. We were not able to digest that Professor Balaswamy gave up his life against to COVID. I express my deep condolences to Professor Balaswamy Garu, and I pray God to give strength to their family members. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am, for your kind words. We have a very touching, heartfelt piece written on Dr. Balaswamy by Dr. S. Ramu, senior journalist, and Sri Ratnakar sir. I request either of them to come forward to say a few words and also to read out your piece which you had written for NT News. Ramu sir, are you there?
Yeah. Good morning. Yes, I'm here. Actually, respected teachers and the management representatives of Usmania University. I was asked by Professor Stevenson to talk to you about his the hardships he faced during his childhood. He was born on 30th June 1970 in Guntur district, Pedakurapadu Mandal of Apparajupalam. I've been associating with Balaswamy sir the last 1 year, and we had lengthy discussions, and we took part in Doordarshan discussions and news analysis. He narrated a lot about his childhood. He grazed the cattle to meet the both ends meet and for his survival. And later he worked as a daily wage worker also. And then he rose to become a professor. And his life has been an inspiration since the beginning. We mentioned all those the qualities of Balaswamy sir in that piece because I had a long association with him because I had many hours of discussion with him in the recent past. And to put it in one sentence, what is Balaswamy sir? I can say that he is an ocean of humanity and humility. He is an ocean of humanity and humility. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Would you please read out your piece which you had written for NT News? Would that be possible?
It is possible, but is it okay? It is in Telugu. I am told that many people are from outside this India. I will read it out. No problem.
Yes, sir. Please do.
1 minute. Give me a minute. Sir, Stevenson, shall I read this out? మానవతావాది ప్రేమమూర్తి. చరిత్రాత్మక ఉస్మానియా విశ్వవిద్యాలయం ప్రాంగణంలో రాజసం ఉట్టిపడేలా ఉండే ఆర్ట్స్ కాలేజీలో సర్లాల్లో ఉండే డిపార్ట్మెంట్ ఆఫ్ జర్నలిజం అండ్ మాస్ కమ్యూనికేషన్ లోకి ప్రవేశిస్తూనే ఎడమ వైపు ఒక పెద్ద గది ఉంటుంది. అందులో ఒత్తైన జుట్టు, గుబురు మీసాలు, ప్రేమ కురిపించే పెద్ద కళ్ళతో అతి సామాన్యంగా కనిపించే ప్రొఫెసర్ కూర్చొని ఉంటారు. మీరు ఆయన్ని చూసినా, ఆయన మిమ్మల్ని చూసినా ఆయనే కుర్చీలోంచి నిలబడి నగుమోముతో ఒదిగిపోయి ప్రేమపూర్వకంగా పలకరిస్తారు. మీరు అక్కడి పూర్వ విద్యార్థి కావచ్చు, ఆ ఏడాదే చేరిన పిల్ల విద్యార్థి కావచ్చు, లేదా డిపార్ట్మెంట్ విజిటర్ కావచ్చు, మీరెవరైనా సరే ఆయన పలకరింపులో, ప్రేమలో కించిత్తు మార్పైనా ఉండదు. మీకు ఏ సమస్య లేదా సందేహం ఉన్నా తన పని మానుకొని వచ్చి మీకు ఆయన సహకరిస్తారు. పూర్తిగా మనస్ఫూర్తిగా. కుల, మత, ప్రాంత సిద్ధాంతాలతో ఏమాత్రం సంబంధం లేకుండా, విసుగు విరామం లేకుండా, డాంబికం పటాటోపం లేకుండా నవ్వుతూ ఆయన అందించే స్నేహహస్తం ఎవరికైనా మధురానుభూతినిస్తుంది. మీరు కాస్త సమయం ఉండి ఆయన గదిలోకి వెళ్ళి కూర్చుంటే దేశ కాలమాన పరిస్థితులు, ఇది ఆయన ఊతపదం, వర్తమాన రాజకీయాలు, జర్నలిజం ధోరణులు, సాంఘిక సమస్యలు, దళిత, బడుగు, బలహీన వర్గాల స్థితిగతులు, తాడిత పీడిత ప్రజల అగచాట్లు విశ్లేషించి తన అభిప్రాయాలను చెప్తారు. వాటి మీద మీ దృష్టికోణం ఏమిటని ప్రేమగా అడిగి తెలుసుకుంటారు. ఆయన సంభాషణ ఆశాంతం, స్వచ్ఛమైన ప్రేమ, నిష్కల్మషమైన అమాయకత్వం, అద్భుతమైన విశ్లేషణ సామర్థ్యం, సమయానుకూల హాస్య చిత్రత కనిపిస్తాయి. మీరు నోరు తెరిచి అడిగితే సినీ రాజకీయ ప్రముఖుల మాటను అనుకరిస్తారు. ఇంకా చనువుతో అడిగితే సత్యహరిశ్చంద్రలో కాటికాపరి సీన్ డైలాగును లీనమై వినిపిస్తారు. మంచి మనిషి, మంచి కమ్యూనికేటర్, గుడ్ కమ్యూనికేటర్ అన్న మాటలకు ఆయన నిలువెత్తు నిదర్శనం అని మీకు అర్థమైపోతుంది. ఆయనే ప్రొఫెసర్ బండి బాలస్వామి. ఈ మాటలని దురదృష్టవశాత్తు ఇప్పుడు చరిత్రలో భాగమైపోయాయి ఈ ముదనష్టపు కోవిడ్ కారణంగా. 1970 జూన్ 30న ఆంధ్రప్రదేశ్లోని పెదకూరపాడు మండలం అబ్బారావుపాలెం గ్రామంలో నిరుపేద దళిత కుటుంబంలో పుట్టి అడ్డంకులు, అవరోధాలు అధిగమించి జర్నలిజం ప్రొఫెసర్ స్థాయికి, అత్యంత ప్రభావశీలమైన ఆచార్య స్థాయికి ఎదిగిన బాలస్వామి సార్ 20 రోజుల పాటు కరోనాతో పోరాడి శుక్రవారం కన్నుమూశారు. ఆయనకు భార్య, ఇద్దరు కుమారులు ఉన్నారు. తన బాల్య మిత్రుడు యూనివర్సిటీ ఆఫ్ హైదరాబాద్ లో అసోసియేట్ ప్రొఫెసర్ గా ఉన్న కెనడీని అదే కరోనా కబళించిన మర్నాడే మరొక 2-3 రోజుల్లో దవాఖానా నుంచి ఇంటికి వస్తారని భావించిన బాలస్వామి సార్ తరలిరాని తీరాలకు తరలిపోయారు. పరమ సాత్వికుడు, అత్యంత మృదు స్వభావి, ఇతరుల సమస్య తన సమస్య అనుకునే బాలస్వామి సార్ కెనడీ సార్ మరణంతో తల్లడిల్లి కుమిలిపోవడం వల్లనే ఈ హఠాన్ మరణం జరిగిందేమోనని అనిపిస్తుంది. కుటుంబ పోషణ కోసం ఊర్లో పశువులు కాసి కూలికి వెళ్లిన బాలస్వామి సార్ 1991లో నాగార్జున విశ్వవిద్యాలయంలో BA చదివి అఖిల భారత పోటీ పరీక్షలో నెగ్గి ప్రఖ్యాత హైదరాబాద్ సెంట్రల్ యూనివర్సిటీలో MA కమ్యూనికేషన్ లో స్థానం పొందారు. ఆ కోర్సులో ప్రథమ శ్రేణిలో ఉత్తీర్ణులై అక్కడే PhD చేశారు. సమగ్రాభివృద్ధిలో కమ్యూనికేషన్ పాత్ర, మెదక్ జిల్లా కేస్ స్టడీ అనే అంశంపై 2002లో డాక్టరల్ డిగ్రీ పొందారు. గోల్డ్ మెడలిస్ట్ అయిన ఆయన 1993లో సీనియర్ రీసెర్చ్ ఫెలోషిప్ పొందేదాకా తన చదువు కోసం ఎన్నో ఆర్థిక ఇబ్బందులు ఎదుర్కొన్నారు. 1996లో అస్సాం యూనివర్సిటీలో లెక్చర్ హోదాలో జర్నలిజం బోధించిన బాలస్వామి సార్ 2004లో ఉస్మానియాలో చేరి 2010లో ప్రొఫెసర్ అయ్యారు. సమగ్రాభివృద్ధిపై ఒక పుస్తకం ప్రచురించిన ఆయన అనేక పరిశోధనా పత్రాలు రాయడమే కాకుండా పలు పుస్తకాలకు చాప్టర్లు అందించారు. దేశంలోని అనేక విశ్వవిద్యాలయాలకు సిలబస్ రూపకల్పనలో, పాఠాల రచనలో కీలక పాత్ర పోషించిన బాలస్వామి సార్ కమ్యూనికేషన్ సిద్ధాంతాలు, ఎలక్ట్రానిక్ మీడియా, డెవలప్మెంట్ కమ్యూనికేషన్ బోధించేవారు. వీడియో ఫిలింలు, సృజనాత్మక రచనలు అంటే ఆయనకి ఇష్టం. తెలంగాణ ఉద్యమం ఉవ్వెత్తున ఎగిసిపడుతున్న రోజుల్లో పోరాటానికి కేంద్ర బిందువైన ఆర్ట్స్ కాలేజీలో పనిచేస్తున్న ఏ ఆచార్యుడైనా ఆంధ్రప్రదేశ్ మూలాలు కలిగి ఉండి విద్యార్థుల ప్రేమాభిమానాలు చూరగొనడం చిన్న విషయం కాదు. అంతటి కఠిన కాలంలోనూ డిపార్ట్మెంట్ హెడ్ గా, బోర్డ్ ఆఫ్ స్టడీస్ చైర్మన్ గా ఆయన పోషించిన పాత్ర ప్రశంసనీయం. ఆవేశానికి లోనైన విద్యార్థులు అధ్యాపకులపైకి భౌతిక దాడికి తెగబడిన సందర్భంలో, వాగ్వాదానికి లేదా దూషణ పర్వానికి దిగిన సమయంలో బాలస్వామి సార్ ప్రాంతీయత రూపంలో తనకున్న ముప్పును సాకుగా చూపి తప్పించుకోలేదు. ఉద్రిక్తత పెచ్చరిల్లకుండా వ్యవహరించడంలో ఆయన ముందుండేవారు. అలాగే హాస్టల్స్ వార్డెన్ గా పనిచేసినప్పుడు సమస్యలను వేగంగా పరిష్కరించడంలో, విద్యార్థులకు అధికారులకు మధ్య సఖ్యతను సాధించడంలో బాలస్వామి సార్ మంచితనం, మృదు స్వభావం బాగా పనిచేశాయి. గ్రామీణ ప్రాంతం నుంచి వచ్చిన తనకు జీవితం ప్రసాదించిన హైదరాబాద్ సెంట్రల్ యూనివర్సిటీలో కమ్యూనికేషన్ విభాగంలో పిల్లలకు ప్రొఫెసర్గా ఎన్నో సేవలు అందించాలన్న కోరిక బాలస్వామి సార్కు బలీయంగా ఉండేది. అది సాకారం కాకపోవడానికి 3-4 సందర్భాల్లో కారకులైన వ్యక్తుల గురించి, పరిస్థితుల గురించి సన్నిహితుల దగ్గర ఆవేదనతో ప్రస్తావించేవారు. వివాదాలు సృష్టించి వ్యవస్థను దెబ్బతీయకుండా ఎవరి విజ్ఞతకు వారిని వదిలేయారని ఆయన అనేవారు. పెద్ద పెద్ద విశ్లేషణలతో మాటల గ్యారెంటీ చేసే టిప్ టాప్ మేధావుల రకం కాదు బాలస్వామి సార్. తక్కువగా మాట్లాడి ఎక్కువ ప్రభావశీలంగా సాధ్యమైనంత ఎక్కువ మందికి సంపూర్ణ సహకారం అందించి వారి జీవితాల్లో ఆనందాన్ని నింపడం ఆయన సూత్రం. నీతి నిబద్ధతలతో వ్యవహరిస్తూ ఇతరులకు వ్యతిరేకంగా పల్లెత్తు పరుష మాటైన ఆడని బాలస్వామి సార్ తన ప్రేమపూర్వక ప్రవర్తన, సౌమ్యమైన మాటలు, చేతలతో తాను రూపొందించుకున్న జీవన సూత్రాన్ని చెప్పకనే చెప్పడం వల్లే పెద్ద సంఖ్యలో అభిమానులను పొందారు. ఆయన మరణ వార్త విని వందల మంది విద్యార్థులు హతాశులయ్యారు. చెరగని చిరునవ్వుతో, సానుకూల ధోరణితో మానవత్వమే పరమావధిగా మెలిగిన బాలస్వామి సార్ మరణం మనందరికీ తీరని లోటు. థ్యాంక్ యూ.
Thank you, sir. As you said, his loss is irreparable. And also, as you said, the students are deeply affected. And we have with us Kripa here from MCJ, who has written a poem in memory of Balaswamy, sir. Kripa, are you there? Could you please read out your poem? You're muted, Kripa. Please unmute yourself.
Yes, ma'am. I am here, ma'am.
Kripa, which batch are you? Please introduce yourself.
Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon, one and all. My name is Kripa Devi, student of Journalism Department, 2017 batch. I wrote one poem about Balaswamy sir because how can I express my words? I don't know till now. I will read my poem. ఓ ఆచార్య, మరుపురాని వసంతమా, తరలిపోయిన విజ్ఞాన సర్వస్వమా, చిరునవ్వే మీ నేస్తమా, తీయని మాటే మీ సొంతమా, చిరునవ్వే మీ నేస్తమా, తీయని మాటే మీ సొంతమా. ఓ ఆచార్య, ఈ లోకంలో నువ్వు లేవన్న నిజం ఓ కలని వచ్చి చెప్పమంటుంది మా హృదయం. ఓ ఆచార్య, ఈ లోకంలో నువ్వు లేవన్న నిజం ఓ కలని వచ్చి చెప్పమంటుంది మా హృదయం. నీ మాటలో నేను వినలేదు కుల మత పదాలని, నీ మోములో నేను చూడలేదు చిరాకు పరాకన్న క్షణాలని. సిరా చుక్కలు మిమ్మల్ని వెతుకుతున్నాయి, ఆర్ట్స్ కాలేజీ మెట్లు మీకోసం ఎదురు చూస్తున్నాయి. సిరా చుక్కలు మిమ్మల్ని వెతుకుతున్నాయి, ఆర్ట్స్ కాలేజీ మెట్లు మీకోసం ఎదురు చూస్తున్నాయి. మా కోసం ఒక్కసారి వచ్చిపోవా ఆచార్య, మీ పిలుపు గెలుపు తెలిసిన ప్రతి హృదయం కన్నీటి సంద్రమే. జర్నలిజానికి జాతి రత్నమా, ఓయూలో నడయాడిన మహోన్నత వ్యక్తిత్వమా, ఈయన అక్షరాలతోనే ఆశ్రుత నివాలి. మరో జన్మంటూ ఉంటే మళ్ళీ మాకు ఆచార్యగా మీరే రావాలి. మీ నిశ్శబ్ద ప్రపంచంలో ఎన్నో విజ్ఞాన సందేశాలను దాచారు. మీ నిశ్శబ్ద ప్రపంచంలో ఎన్నో విజ్ఞాన సందేశాలను దాచారు. మీ మానవత్వం నిండిన హృదయంతో ఎందరో మనసులను దోచారు. మీ మానవత్వం నిండిన హృదయంతో ఎందరో మనసులను దోచారు. ఎందుకు కాలం వడిలో ఒదిగిపోయారు, జీవిత పోరాటం వడిలో ఓడిపోయారు, ఊపిరిని వదిలి మాకు ఎందుకు దూరమయ్యారు? ఆచార్య, మరో జన్మంటూ ఉంటే మళ్ళీ మాకు ఆచార్యగా మీరే రావాలి. థ్యాంక్ యూ మ్యామ్.
Thank you,
Kripa. Thank you for that very emotional, touching poem. Sneha, I'll just take 1 second, okay? There are requests coming in from Pantukula Srinivas of FLO, then there is Prabhakar Chowti also. So I think, you can come in, but please be brief, my dear friends, Srinivas, Prabhakar. Okay, it's a request, okay? Right.
Yes, I request Dr. P. Srinivas, IFLU University, to speak.
Thank you for the opportunity. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
Yeah, I thank the Department of Communication and Journalism, Usman University, giving me the opportunity for a few words. It's a great loss for me and the discipline of communication, because he's like my elder brother. So when I joined as assistant professor in the Department of Communication at the English and Foreign Languages University, so he's the one who gave confidence, and he gave tips for class to take classes, and he is the one who gave suggestions for the preparing the question papers and the academic activities. And he is also the external expert for my PhD. So in Viva Voice, so he gave moral support, and continuously he used to give me the academic intellectual inputs for writing the papers. It was a great loss for people like me, youngsters, those who are coming into the academics. And he is the one who spent time for the students, youngsters, and younger academicians to give academic inputs and intellectual inputs. And he is the one who, the 6 months before, he wrote a foreword for my forthcoming book on the Jatra as a mode of communication for development. So very soon. So on this, so I was very close with him. Even I met him in February, so at home and in the department, and we had the academic discussions on to write the academic papers. So my deepest condolences to bereaved family members and the friends. We really missed a great humanist and a philosopher of communication discipline. So with this, I'll conclude. Thank you very much for giving this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your tribute. I think we have Mr. Prabhakar Chowti. So would you like to speak?
Yes,
He's a research scholar at the department.
Yeah.
Yes.
So after listening all your words, నిజంగా బాలస్వామి సార్ మన దగ్గర లేకపోవడం అనేది చాలా 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 బాధాకరమైనటువంటి అంశం. మేము స్టూడెంట్స్ గా ఇప్పుడు ఎగ్జిస్టింగ్ రీసెర్చ్ స్కాలర్స్ గా ఐఎమ్ స్పీకింగ్ ఇన్ తెలుగు బికాస్ ఐ కెన్ ఎక్స్ప్రెస్ బెటర్ వర్డ్స్ టువర్డ్స్ బాలస్వామి సార్. సో ఎగ్జిస్టింగ్ రీసెర్చ్ స్కాలర్స్ గా అత్యంత బాగా ప్రేమించేటటువంటి వ్యక్తి బాలస్వామి సారు. నాకు పర్సనల్ గా ప్రతిరోజు కూడా ఎప్పుడు సంప్రదించినా కూడా చాలా ఆప్యాయంగా, చాలా సౌమ్యంగా, చాలా సున్నితంగా సజెషన్స్ ఇచ్చేటటువంటి ప్రొఫెసర్. అండ్ మీ అందరికీ కొన్ని విషయాలు తెలియదేమో, మాతోటి సార్ మిమిక్రీ చేసేవాళ్ళు. రెగ్యులర్ గా మేము ఎప్పుడన్నా వెళ్ళినప్పుడు సార్ చాలా బాగా మిమిక్రీ చేసేవాళ్ళు. అసలు కొన్ని వాయిసెస్ అయితే చాలా ఎగ్జాక్ట్ గా దించేవాళ్ళు. అండ్ దేశంలో, రాష్ట్రంలో జరుగుతున్నటువంటి నిర్ణయాల మీద మేము సార్ను సంప్రదించినప్పుడు సార్ ఎంత సున్నిత మనస్సుతోటి వాటి మీద స్పందించే వాళ్ళంటే, నిజంగా కొన్నిసార్లు ఒక ప్రొఫెసర్ ఇంత సున్నిత స్థాయిలో కొన్ని అంశాల మీద ఆలోచిస్తాడా అనేటంత అనుమానం కలిగేటంత సున్నితంగా సార్ యొక్క ఎక్స్ప్రెషన్స్ ఉండేటివి. చాలా విషయాల మీద, ఇప్పుడు దేశంలో జరుగుతున్నటువంటి ఎన్నో విషయాల మీద మేము చర్చలు చేసేవాళ్ళం. అండ్ డిపార్ట్మెంట్ ఆఫ్ జర్నలిజంలోకి మేము ఎంట్రీ అవుతున్నప్పుడే సార్ది లెఫ్ట్ సైడ్ లో రూమ్ ఉంటుంది. సో మేము ఎప్పుడు రిలాక్స్ కావాల్సి వచ్చిన, సార్ దగ్గర ఉన్నటువంటి ఏ రిసోర్సెస్ వాడుకోవాలన్నా కూడా ఏమాత్రం బేసేజాలు లేకుండా మాకు అన్ని రీసోర్సెస్ ఇచ్చేవాళ్ళు. ఎప్పుడు వెళ్ళినా చాలా చిన్న పిల్లవాడిని అయినా సరే చెప్పండి ఏంటండి, అండ్ ఎవరైనా స్టూడెంట్ ఆర్గనైజేషన్స్ సార్ దగ్గరికి తీసుకుపోయి పరిచయం చేసినప్పుడు కూడా, సార్ మీరు ఏదైనా సహాయం చేయండి అని అంటే కూడా ఎంతో కొంత సహాయం చేసి మమ్మల్ని బతిమలాడేవాళ్ళు సారు. చూడండి కొంచెం ఇంతే అండి, కొంచెం చూడండి అని చెప్పేసి. అంత సౌమ్యంగా ఉన్నటువంటి ప్రొఫెసర్స్ ఈ ప్రపంచంలో చాలా తక్కువ మంది. సో నిజంగా బాలస్వామి సార్ను కోల్పోవడం అని అంటే మాలాంటి రీసెర్చ్ స్కాలర్స్ కి, విద్యార్థులకి చాలా చాలా నష్టం. సో ఇట్లాంటి ప్రొఫెసర్ కి డిపార్ట్మెంట్ ఆఫ్ జర్నలిజం ఈ టైంలో, ఈ పాండమిక్ టైంలో మనం మాట్లాడుతున్నంత సేపు చాలా మంది ప్రాణాలు కోల్పోతా ఉన్నారు. ఇంతకుముందు ఇంకొక జర్నలిస్ట్ టిఎన్ఆర్. సో వాట్ ఐ రిక్వెస్ట్ యూ, మీ అందరు కూడా అవసరమే, మీ అందరి సేవలు కూడా మాకు అవసరమే. ఇంకొక సంఘటన ఇట్లాంటి న్యూస్ వినకుండా ఉండాలంటే మీరందరూ కూడా తగినన్ని జాగ్రత్తలు తీసుకుంటారని చెప్పేసి ఆశిస్తూ నాకు ఈ అవకాశం ఇచ్చినటువంటి జర్నలిజం డిపార్ట్మెంట్ కి మరియు బాలస్వామి సార్ మీద ఇంత అద్భుతమైనటువంటి రీతిలో మీ వ్యూస్ చెప్పినటువంటి మీ అందరికీ కూడా ప్రత్యేక ధన్యవాదాలు. థ్యాంక్ యూ ఆల్.
Thank you, Mr. Prabhakar. I request Professor Malika of English and Foreign Languages University to speak. We just received a request from her. Ma'am, please. Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
I never expected to be here speaking on this occasion. I always thought of Balaswamy as a future of Usmania and not really the past of Usmania. So it's been unbelievable and a shock to me personally because he's been a very good friend. And on behalf of the English and Foreign Languages University of Department of Communication, and my colleague is also here, Srinivas, we would like to offer our deep condolence on his demise. Balaswamy and I together, we had done our PhD under Professor Vishweshwar, and he always used to say, "Madam, you are the first one and I'm the second one. We both have completed our PhD." And after that, we have maintained our relationships for a long, long time, obviously till now. I think it was just a couple of months earlier I spoke to him and I did not know about his health. In fact, after hearing Kennedy's untimely demise, I was shocked. In fact, I thought, in fact, I wondered how Balaswamy did not comment about it because I knew they were quite close. But in the meantime, I heard this news and this was, of course, even more shocking. As I think one of the few who had the opportunity to kind of see his lesser known quality, which is what Padmaja ma'am and Srinath sir was talking about. His sense of humor was amazing. We used to laugh so much. And I think he had a very special laughter. It was very, very kind of, like a very innocent laughter, but very hearty laughter. And I saw only two people laugh like that. One I heard is Mahesh Babu and the other person is Balaswamy sir, because they had a very nice kind of laughter. And he used to love talking, as just now Ramu was talking about it. His favorite was Harishchandra Natakam, and in that the last Kartikapuri scene was his favorite. And he used to talk about it so many times and he used to recite completely on the spot and so well. And I do remember all the lunches we used to have and enjoy in Usmania when I was teaching there for a brief while. And it was one of those memories which always stay with me. It's still very, very difficult for me to think of that. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. We can see your frame.
Sneha, there's Sushil who has raised his hand.
Yes, sir.
Sushil, if he is around, please unmute him so that he can come in. Sushil.
Sushil Rao, sir?
Sushil Rao. Sushil Rao. Yeah, Sushil Rao.
Yes,
Sushil Rao.
Yes, ma'am.
Sushil Rao.
Shall I speak?
Yeah,
yes, sir, please.
Yeah, I am Sushil Rao, a MPhil scholar of Krishna University.
Okay, right, go ahead.
I am a retired police officer, additional SP. With all the passion of journalism, I have attended this Andhra University APR test and I got the seat. Anyway, this is a sad moment wherein we have lost a precious jewel in journalism department. 3 months ago, while I was in America, I have attended the course completion by our department guide T. Vijayalakshmi madam and HOD Jyotirmay madam. And in that course, Balaswamy sir has given a good lecture. I remember, but that is what I got the interaction with the this precious jewel. But on studying all the words of the eminent people who spoke now, what I found from the life of Balaswamy Garu is he has developed two sterling features. One is in the academic field, and the other is humanitarian aspect. He's certainly proved himself as a jewel and brought laurels to the community. The aim of the people's life might vary from person to person, but what unites every human being is what it means to be themselves. To be human is to be the protagonist of your universe and experience life in all its colors and potentials. So, Balaswamy sir, what I mean to say is more than the professional expertise, the human feature of the citizen, the responsible citizen, determine the quality of life in society. In every department should recognize this one, and especially I worked in police department, and this is the department is the embodiment of government. We should be polite, hospitality, and humility should be the aim of the police, and not only the police, or medicine, or revenue, or any other governmental wing, to extend service, the qualitative dimension of excellence to the community. That is what is called the professionalism that he got. Our professor, on whose demise this meeting was conducted by the organizers. I appreciate them. And a lot of erudite people have been assembled here to express their reverence. It's not wise for me to go long. Before I conclude, I mentioned these two words. I'm a literature student also. I'm a literature English. The woods are lovely, dark and deep, and but I have promises to keep, and miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before. These are the words of Robert Frost. And our treasured Balaswamy Garu has gone to the peak, pinnacles of fame in academics and in humanitarian grounds. He is such a nice man that he speaks with every person with that humility and hospitality. He has left an indelible impact on the hearts of the people. Yes, he proved himself is a nice man. And lastly, the feeling of being alive and the thrill of experiencing tomorrow, to be able to perceive ourselves is the greatest wonder of the world. What makes us human is to be able to celebrate humanity. So I pray God to keep his soul in peace. And Sir Balaswamy sir, you have accomplished many good things in life. You worked hard and always followed the path of honesty. Sir, you sleep well, sir. God has a beautiful reward for you. Thank you for the organizers to provide me this opportunity. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. We have two people here who are ready to talk. Mr. Raghupati. Sir,
Yes, madam.
would you like to speak? Yes.
Thank you for giving me this opportunity to say a few words on Balaswamy sir. యాక్చువల్గా 2006-07 బ్యాచ్ మేము సార్తో ఉన్నటువంటి అనుబంధాన్ని చూసిన తర్వాత ఈ కరోనా డెత్స్ లో చాలా మంది ఫ్రెండ్స్ కానీ చాలా మంది తెలిసిన వాళ్ళు చనిపోతుంటే చాలా బాధేసింది. కానీ సార్ యొక్క మరణం మాత్రం జీర్ణించుకోలేకపోతున్నాం ఇప్పటికి కూడా. లాస్ట్ రైడ్స్ కూడా మనం చేసుకునేటువంటి పరిస్థితి లేకుండా పోయింది. నా ఫ్రెండ్స్ కూడా, మా బ్యాచ్ ఫ్రెండ్స్ కూడా వెళ్ళి చూసి వద్దాం చివరిసారిగా అన్నప్పుడు కూడా ఒక్కసారిగా కళ్ళల్లో నీళ్ళు ఆగలేదు. ఎందుకంటే సార్తో ఉన్నటువంటి ఇంత అనుబంధాన్ని మనం చివరిసారి కూడా చూసుకోలేని పరిస్థితి ఏర్పడ్డది అనేటువంటి బాధ కలిగింది. అయినప్పుడు కూడా చాలా మంది సార్ గురించి ఉన్నటువంటి అనుబంధాన్ని షేర్ చేశారు. అయితే దీంట్లో ఒక 2 అంశాలను మాత్రం నేను ప్రస్తావించదలుచుకున్నాను. సార్ యొక్క వ్యక్తిత్వము, సార్ యొక్క సున్నిత మనస్తత్వం అనేది దాదాపు అందరి దగ్గర ఒకే రకంగా ఉంటుంది. ఎందుకంటే కొత్తగా వచ్చినటువంటి విద్యార్థి కానుంచి మొదలు పెడితే ఎంత సీనియర్ అయినా, అంటే ఎక్కడ కూడా ప్రోటోకాల్లో చేంజ్ ఉండదు. సార్ యొక్క పలకరింపులో కానీ ఆప్యాయతలో మాత్రం ఏమాత్రం తేడా మనకు కనిపించదు. ప్రధానంగా చాలా విభిన్నంగా అనిపిస్తుంది ఎప్పుడు చూసినా కూడా. సార్కు అనేక అంశాలపైన, అంతర్జాతీయ అంశాలపైన సామాజిక దృష్టికోణాలు కూడా స్పష్టంగా ఉన్నప్పటికీ కూడా ఎదుటి వ్యక్తి యొక్క అభిప్రాయాన్ని గౌరవించి, మనం ఎప్పుడైనా సరదాగా ఖాళీగా ఉన్న టైంలో సార్ దగ్గరికి వెళ్ళి కూర్చున్నప్పుడు సార్ అంటే కూడా సార్ ఒక ఆపర్చునిటీ తీసుకుని ఏదైనా ఒక స్పెసిఫిక్ సబ్జెక్ట్ సంబంధించినటువంటి డిబేట్ చేసేవాడు. దాన్ని కూడా ఎంత అద్భుతంగా అంటే ఒక డెమోక్రటిక్ వేలో ఈ పలానా అంశానికి సంబంధించి నా అభిప్రాయం ఇదండి, మీ అభిప్రాయం ఎలా ఉందండి అని అడిగేవారే తప్ప తన అభిప్రాయాన్ని ఎదుటివారి పైన రుద్దేటువంటి అది ఎక్కడ కూడా చూడలేదు సార్. ఎందుకంటే ఆ అంశం పట్ల స్పష్టంగా మాట్లాడేవారు, తన అభిప్రాయాన్ని మాత్రమే షేర్ చేసుకునేవాడు, మన అభిప్రాయాన్ని కూడా అడిగేవారు. ఈ మధ్య కాలంలోనే యూజీ ఈఎంఆర్సి ఉస్మానియా యూనివర్సిటీ నుంచి, అదేవిధంగా రూసా నుంచి ఒక ప్రాజెక్ట్ తీసుకున్నాం. దానికి సార్ని కోఆర్డినేటర్ గా ఉండమని అడిగాం. సారు అందుకు ఒప్పుకున్నారు. ఆ ప్రాజెక్ట్ కూడా లైన్ అప్ అయింది. కొత్త విద్యార్థులకు కానీ, అదేవిధంగా యూజీ జర్నలిజం విద్యార్థులందరికీ కూడా అందుబాటులో ఉండాలి, ఒక ఈజీ వేలో మనం లెసన్స్ అందివ్వాలనేటువంటి అంశాన్ని సార్తో డిస్కస్ చేసినప్పుడు సార్ సానుకూలంగా స్పందించి దానికి సంబంధించినటువంటి వర్క్ అంతా కూడా చేసి పెట్టారు. మా డైరెక్టర్ నరేందర్ సార్ సూచన తోటి ఈ కార్యక్రమం కూడా చేశాము. అది ట్రాక్ అయింది. విద్యార్థులకి ఒక మంచి కంటెంట్ ఇవ్వాలనేటువంటి ఆలోచన ఆయన ఈ మధ్య కాలంలోనే చేశారు. ఆయన ఇచ్చినటువంటి సలహాలు, సూచనలు మేము ముందుకు తీసుకెళ్తాం, ఈ కోర్సును కూడా పూర్తి చేస్తామని చెప్తూ, సార్ లేని లోటు మాత్రం మన డిపార్ట్మెంట్ కి తీరని ఒక లోటు అని మాత్రం చెప్పొచ్చు. థ్యాంక్ యూ స్నేహ, థ్యాంక్ యూ వెరీ మచ్.
Thank you, sir. We have a few more hands raised to speak, but before that, I would like to ask if there are any foreign students here in our midst, because sir was solace to a lot of foreign students.
Just check if Jafet is around.
Jafet, are you there? I request everybody else to kindly mute their microphones. Jafet, are you there? So I think he has not joined.
Okay.
Mr. K. Mahesh had asked to speak.
నమస్తే అండి అందరికి. ఏం మాట్లాడాలో కూడా అర్థం కాని పరిస్థితి, ఊహించలేదు. సార్కు నాకు ఒక 15 ఏళ్ళుగా పరిచయం ఉంది. సార్ సూపర్విజన్ లోనే నేను పిహెచ్డి చేస్తా ఉన్నాను. సార్కి ఎప్పుడు కూడా ఆయన ఒక అంశం పట్ల కాకుండా అనేక అంశాల పట్ల చాలా స్పష్టతతో ఉండేవారు. అన్నిటికంటే ఆయన గొప్ప మానవతావాది. నేను చాలా సార్లు అడిగేవారు, సార్ ఏంటి సార్ మీరు చిన్న వాళ్ళని కూడా అత్యంత మర్యాదగా మాట్లాడతారు, మీకు ఏదైనా నవ్వుతూ అనేవారు, ఏదైనా బ్యాక్గ్రౌండ్ ఉందా? సినిమాలో కూడా చాలా సార్లు ఫస్ట్ హాఫ్ లో చాలా అమాయకంగా ఉండి చాలా సీరియస్ గా చాలా వాళ్ళకి వేరే బ్యాక్గ్రౌండ్ ఉంటుందని నవ్వుతూ అంటే సార్ పెద్దగా నవ్వి, చిన్నప్పుడే తండ్రిని కోల్పోయానండి 12 ఏళ్ల వయసులో, మా అమ్మకు నేను కూలి చేస్తూ మా అమ్మకు ఆసరాగా ఉండేవాడిని, మా ఇంట్లో వాళ్ళు కూడా పెద్దగా సహకరించకపోయే వాళ్ళని చాలా చెప్పేవారు. అంటే ఆయన చిన్నప్పటి నుంచి కష్టాలని డిస్క్రిమినేషన్ అనుభవించి సొంతంగా కష్టపడి చదివి సెంట్రల్ యూనివర్సిటీలో చదువుకొని అక్కడ నుంచి అసిస్టెంట్ ప్రొఫెసర్గా ఎదిగారు. ఆయన లాంటి బాధలు ఇంకొకరు అనుభవించకూడదని ఎప్పుడు ఆయన చెప్తా ఉంటారు. ఆయన ఇంతకుముందు మాట్లాడిన మిత్రుల వల్ల ఆయన ఎప్పుడు ఆయన అభిప్రాయాలని కానీ ఆయన ఇన్ని కష్టాలు ఉన్న ఎవరిపైన రుద్దకపోయేవారు. ఎంతసేపు ఎదుటి వాళ్ళని అర్థం చేసుకోవడం, ఎదుటి వాళ్ళకు వీలైతే సలహాలు ఇవ్వడము, వాళ్ళు ఒక ఎంపతిగా ఉండేవాళ్ళు. ఈ మధ్య కాలంలో ఒక వరుసగా 6 నెలలు లాక్డౌన్ టైంలో నేను డిపార్ట్మెంట్లో నిజంగా మాటలు రావట్లేదు. సార్ నేను చాలా ఒకే రూమ్ లో దాదాపు 6 నెలలు కలిసి మాట్లాడుతూ ఎక్కువ పిహెచ్డి కంటే మేమిద్దరం ఎక్కువ మిగతా విషయాల మీద మాట్లాడే వాళ్ళం. పిహెచ్డితో చాలా నాకు సలహాలు ఇచ్చేవారు. అయితే ఈ మధ్యకాలంలో సార్ నేను ఒక కథ రాస్తున్నాను. కథకు మీరు సార్ మంచి రైటరు, చాలా మందికి తెలిసి ఉండవచ్చు. నేను రాసే సినిమా కథ కూడా ఆయన మంచి పాట రాసి ట్యూన్ చేస్తున్నారు. నేను ఇట్లా నాకు అనుకోకుండా వచ్చిందండి, నేను అయిపోయే లోపు మీకు మంచి ట్యూన్ ఇస్తానని కూడా మాట్లాడారు. మాట్లాడుతున్న సందర్భంలో హాస్పిటల్ ఉన్నప్పుడు గొంతు సార్ది తేడా వచ్చింది. ఏం సార్ మీరు మొన్నటిదాకా మంచిగా ఉన్నారు అంటే, లేదండి బాగా అయినా 2 రోజులు వచ్చేస్తా అంటే, నేను కూడా అన్నాను సార్ మీరు మనం రాయిలాక్కున్నారు, మీకు ఏం కాదు వస్తారని చెప్పాను. అన్ఫార్చునేట్లీ ఆ తర్వాత రోజు నేను ఫోన్ చేసినప్పుడు సార్ లిఫ్ట్ చేయలేదు, సార్ చేసినప్పుడు నేను లిఫ్ట్ చేయలేదు. అదే చివరి మాటలు అవుతుందని నేను అసలు ఊహించలేదు. నాకు అలాగే డిపార్ట్మెంట్కి వ్యక్తిగతంగా నాకు చాలా లాస్ అని నేను బాధపడుతున్నాను. ఈ అవకాశం ఇచ్చిన మీకు థ్యాంక్ యూ.
Thank you, Mahesh Garu. Dr. G. Kishor, who is also the MLA of Tungaturti constituency, is a scholar who did his PhD under Dr. Balaswamy, Professor Balaswamy. Is he here now? If he is there, I request him to speak a few words. I think he is not with us. We had received another request from Dr. Krishna, S. Krishna, to speak.
Yeah, good afternoon, Sneha. Thanks for giving me this opportunity.
Good afternoon, sir. Thank you. Please speak.
First of all, I would like to thank all my great beloved professors of journalism department. So, meanwhile, Balaswamy sir is my MPhil guide. I did my MPhil under him. Unfortunately, it is a terrible issue. We lost that person. So when I called 1 month back, so he told me to complete my MPhil degree. So meanwhile, yesterday, 1 week back also, I called to Stevenson sir. About he told me, so Krishna, Balaswamy sir also fine, will come back. Very, very lost to department, meanwhile, student family. So unable to control myself. Very sorry to interrupt everyone. It's my thanks everyone.
Thank you, sir. Would somebody else like to come forward to share their thoughts?
Hello.
Yes, sir.
As always, this is Praveen. I was the part of the last batch that completed their second year under him, batch of 18 to 20. So that was our juniors will not have access to such a gem of a person, such a wonderful professor. I have not seen any teaching in our country generally, while well-intentioned, carries a certain sternness, certain firmness with them, but I have never seen Dr. Balaswamy get angry or even slightly impatient. So even when at the end of the semester, when generally we cram and all, when we request for repeated classes, some of them already topics covered, even then he would be very, very kind and cooperative. He never said no to us. And as many people mentioned, like when we come down from the stairs, that's the first room, and would always be very warm, and even for students who would get up and greet us very warmly. Such a warm, endearing personality. And when we were our seniors, the farewell party, he was there. He was, he did the mimicry thing. But unfortunately, because of the formality, we didn't have the access to him as much as his other colleagues, like professors and all, had. So we would never hear the Amaravati Kalalu or even the Harishchandra Singh and all that. Obviously, probably had we been more fortunate and he would have continued for more years at the department, and we as former students probably would have had more access to him. So my condolences to his family and even the department. We have lost a great professor and a warm, friendly, great human being. My condolences. Om Shanti.
Thank you, Praveen sir.
Yes, Megha, 1 second.
Yes.
I have a message from one of Balaswamy sir's scholars, I propose, from Iran. Okay. He has sent a message. I'll quickly read this. He continuously mentored and motivated us in our difficulties and careers, gave us valuable suggestions and guidelines. He touched so many lives, helped so many people, and made them walk in the right path, the path of wisdom. We can never ever forget that. It completely broke my heart when I heard that he is no more. I can't even imagine it, and I have no words to express my deepest sadness, grief, and sorrow. My deepest sympathy and sincere condolence is with you all, students, teachers, colleagues, friends, and family members of my dear to heart and esteemed teacher, Professor Balaswamy. We are all we are all immensely sorry for your loss. You will always remain in our minds and hearts. Rest in peace. Eshfagul Rahman Saburi from Iran, please. Okay. Then, yeah, go ahead, Sneha.
Yes, sir. We have one more request from Mr. Pranay who would like to speak.
I'm Usha Bhargavi.
Okay.
I'm working as Assistant Director in Information and Public Relations Department. So I'm also a research scholar from the department. Sir is also, Sir and Steve Sir was helping me out in carrying out my research, and successfully I have submitted my research. And every time, whenever I call Sir Balaswamy Sir, he used to always start saying that your research is done and you have received a positive report. Soon you will have it in your hand. So last month also I was speaking to him, not only on the research, but regularly we used to have interaction. We used to actually, somebody needs help, means now I'm staying in Delhi. So if anyone needs help or something, like he used to call me and ask me. Whatever was possible, we used to do. And Sir was a good friend to me, like he was also associated with my family. So I was very close with him. Whenever I was demotivated, he used to motivate me in my work or in my personal life. So he was very good friend to me, and was a great loss for me. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Usha.
Dr. Indira.
Yeah, good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, everybody. On behalf of the Department of History, I just like to express my deep that there is no more. So it's very sad and it's very unthinkable that it's a very sudden expiry of sir is really shocking and very sad. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. We have a request from Dr. Tarjeet Sabarwal, University of Delhi. Dr. Tarjeet?
Yes, yes.
this is very unfortunate that on this occasion I have to connect with my alma mater. I met Professor Balaswamy once in 2015 when I visited the department. And secondly, I met him recently in 2019 when he had come to conduct a viva for the students of Jamia Millia Islamia, where I was doing some other research work out there. So at that moment of time, we connected so well. And I mean, I failed to understand that how God could have just snatched him away from all of us. He promised me that we would, work together since I am at the University of Delhi. And I failed to, imbibe this piece of sad news, and it's really difficult to digest it. And I thought that the department was in very safe hands, and my the department would really be benefited from his intellect and his contribution towards research. I also would like to remind all my professors who are here, Professor Narinder, Professor Vishweshwar Rao, Professor Nageshwar Rao, Professor Sham Sunder, and Professor Padmaja Shaw. I was their student way back in 1989-90. So I really am very sorry to share this loss with them. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you so much, ma'am. We are also touched that we have love pouring in for Balaswamy sir from everywhere in the world, from Iran, from New Delhi, and we are all deeply pained even now. I now I request Professor Stevenson to give the condolence message, followed by a 2-minute silence that we can observe.
Yeah, there's one second.
I request everyone else to kindly mute your microphones.
Yeah, before that, let me share that, Dr. Satish had exited so that we could accommodate Professor Gopal Reddy. He has sent a very lengthy message, his tributes. If he can join and perhaps say these few words, that would be fine. But if he is not available, if he is not around, well, I see, is Upender is raising his hand. Is Upender raising his hand, please?
Yes, sir.
Just quickly 2 words followed by Sandeep. After that, we will observe a 2-minute silence. Then we will move the condolence resolution, please. Okay? Quickly, Upender and then
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, one and all. I am the present student of Department of Journalism, Osmania University. I had a relation with Balaswamy sir from the past 1.5 years. After post-lockdown, we had our class sessions from February, and the 3rd semester exams has. Sir was very much dedicated towards the welfare of the students, as most of the scholars and students who has been guided by Balaswamy sir also said. After on the first exam of 3rd semester, sir called me at the night of 10:30, and he politely asked me that Upender garu meer free unnara. Every student was honored when a professor is called to him. So that made me how sir was dedicated, and he asked me, "Meer ela rasaru exam, pillalandra ela rasaru. You have done virtual classes." That was the most dedicated thing, and one of the worst thing that happened to me was, Steve sir mentioned in our last class that Balaswamy sir will be get discharged in a couple of days. I made a call to him, sir. How you are feeling? That sir spoke. Upender garu, I left your paper. I'm working with sir, and sir said after coming to home, I will definitely get into that, and I will definitely come. So that was the very and final unfortunate moment to me, and those are the very humble words. He was even on his bed. He spoke me about what he left, and he was very aware of his responsibility. Such a dedicated professor, and I know Osmania University lost one of the best professor, and the future generations lost a great inspiration. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, Sandeep.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, everyone. Myself, Sandeep Kumar.
and just passed out student of journalism 2018 to 2020 batch. It's very sad to listen the Professor Balaswamy sir no more between us. I am just brought up in Chennai. Totally, I am different from the Hyderabad atmosphere. When I stepped into the small university, I'm very uncomfortable to the atmosphere of the students and everything. Everything is new to me. But when I met the Professor Balaswamy sir, he's only the person who I came across in my life. I didn't see how humble, polite, and kindness to everyone. Whenever I appear in front of him, Professor Balaswamy sir, he used to tie his hands and bow his head and listen every word which is spoken from every student very politely and calmly. He will give answers back very smile with the smile faces. So it is very sad to know the Professor Balaswamy sir no more, and I don't know how to express my condolence to the Professor Balaswamy sir. There is no words to express before because everyone have seen lots of this, and the Krupa Devi Garu have written the poem also very deeply. I am the one inspired by him to participate in the students' activities also. I inspired me very more by speaking of the way and appearance of his. I never ever seen the Professor Balaswamy sir wear a shoe because he used to dress up like formally, but he never wear a shoe. He just walk around the university with the slippers. That made me how simple man he is, how simple background came from. That's always inspired me. That touches me every time. So thank you for giving this opportunity to everyone.
Yeah, we have Megha who is just joined her first semester. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Is Megha around? Megha, can you quickly pay tributes to her? Megha is in the first semester of the MA journalism course. Yeah, Megha, please go ahead.
Yes, it's we hardly had 5 classes with Professor Balaswamy sir, but he has created an everlasting impression on us. We used to get mostly his classes would be at the end of our schedule, our time schedule, where most of us would be tired or busy or occupied. But every time we came to his class to see his face, we wanted to stay. His smile and the interest he took to just tell us about all the things, he would not just brief us, but also go in depth. And he would always be very kind, soft spoken. And the way he addressed us, students who are just starting off our masters, with so much of respect, there was so much to learn from him. And it's very sad that our class is going to be missing him. So I hope his soul rests in peace. Thank you.
Thank you, Sneha. Thank you, Megha. Yeah, shall we all mute ourselves for 2 minutes, mark of respect? But before that, I would like to thank each one of you for having made it to this meeting. I would like to thank all the senior professors, deans, faculty members, teaching staff, non-teaching staff, including Ravi and Chandru and all, Manasa. I thank each one of you very profusely for making this program a success. Without you people's support, I mean, this overwhelming love and affection is only a reflection of this personality, I think, who has carved a name for himself in the history of Osmania University and the department. Okay, with these few words, let us just observe 2 minutes silence. After that, we will move our condolence resolution and then end this meeting. Thank you. Yeah, thank you very much. There's this gentleman, Chakka Nageshwar, who is persistently raising his hand. Can you quickly come in, please, before we pass the resolution? Mr. Chakka Nageshwar, if you are around, please unmute yourself. Mr. Chakka Nageshwar. Well, we seem to have lost him anyway. Well, we are coming to the end of this meeting. I think it has been a very lengthy meeting, but it doesn't matter. We have learned a lot from life's lessons from Professor Balaswamy. Well, the Department of Journalism and Mass Communication would like to place on record a deep sense of appreciation for the invaluable services rendered by Professor Balaswamy Garu to the department, to the university, to various activities undertaken under different projects. The department would also like to express its deepest condolences to members of his family, kith and kin. May God give them the courage to get over this distress and crisis moments. May his soul rest in peace. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Sneha, for
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Sneha, for stepping in, because I don't know, I wouldn't have made it because of my connectivity issues here. Luckily, I am surviving because of my tenant's password, which I borrowed just now. Okay. Thank you so much.
Professor Stevenson, thank you so much for holding.
Thank you, Girdhar Garu. Thank you, Vagre Madam. Thank you, Karunakar. Thank you,
Stevenson, for organizing this meeting.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, that is the only
Thank
tribute
you,
we
sir.
can pay to
Thank you.
Balaswamy.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Stevie.
Okay, this
Thank you,
has
Stevie.
been recorded and we'll be putting it on YouTube also very
Thank you,
shortly.
sir. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Right.
Thank you so much, Stevie.
Right,
It
thanks,
was a well
Narinder.
conducted,
Thanks,
well conducted
Narinder.
meeting,
Sorry, I
Stevie.
was
So sorry.
sorry, I
So
was in
sorry.
and out in the beginning because I had some connectivity issues.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you, Steve.
So sorry, Stevie. So sorry.
Thank you, Steve.
Thank you, madam. Thank you so much. Right.
Thank you, sir.
Sir. Thank you, Sneha, for helping out. Thank you, Sneha.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir, and thank you, Sneha.
Thank you,
She is in
Krishna.
fact applied for leave today. I don't know whether it was for this or for some other reason, but anyway. And,
Thank you, sir. We got to know about Professor Balaswamy through different perspectives.
Right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Megha. Thank you. Yeah, before we part, maybe please pray for Mr. Ramesh Palwai, who has isolated himself in his house because he was the last person to see him before the body was sent to Guntur. Okay, in fact, I advised him, cautioned him not to go anywhere near, but somehow he made it to the ICU, got the face cover removed and got a couple of pictures photographed. I think he is in a very inconsolable state. I've been in touch with him. Well, so far, I don't think he's not showing any signs of exposure. That is one good thing. So please uphold him in your prayers. Thank you so much.
Definitely, sir.
Thank you,
He will
thank
be
you,
fine. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Stevenson, sir.
Thank you once again to everyone for taking your time out to attend this condolence meet.
Neha, ma'am, I think
Yes.
Sonia wanted to share a video of Balaswamy.
Yes, I hope we still have people here. Frani has a video of Balaswamy sir's mimicry performance. I think it's just a few minutes. If all of you could wait, if the rest of you could wait to see it.
Yes, ma'am.
Frani, can you share it? I've already enabled screen sharing.
Right. Good afternoon, everyone. It's indeed very, very difficult for all of us to process this news. This video was a performance in one of the farewells, or I don't remember. Most of the batch, current batch or the previous batch students had an opportunity to be there while sir was doing this.
This is
Though,
a fresher party which is given by us to the freshers.
yes,
I'm the behind the Balaswamy sir to request to do some entertainment to us. I am the one person. It's very
Right.
honored to see that video. Thank you for recording.
Yes, just a second. Are you all able to see my screen?
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Okay, I'm sorry I cannot connect through the laptop, but this is what I can.
Could we listen the voice of the Balaswamy sir? Is it possible? I think this is the place of the Megha auditorium near the information technology.
We are not getting the audio of Sonia. Kindly share it with the department WhatsApp group.
In this mimicry, Balaswamy sir have spoken the different voices: Nagarjuna, Chiranjeevi, Krishna, Balakrishna, and we is very happy to see his video once again. But the audio is not good.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I think that was what I had. Sorry if the audio and video was not proper.
Video is good, but the
I'll try to
audio.
share this video in the group also. Yeah, and thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Sonia, you're not in batch group of different years. So can you please share it with Mansa ma'am and they'll share it to all the different groups? Thank you so much.
Yes, definitely, sir. Okay.
Thank you.
Frani, are you there?
She was left right.
Okay, I suppose the audio did not play?
Yes, audio was not good. The video is good.
The audio was not really, I don't know, there was some technical error, but I think later on it did play. But I'll share it with the department so that the department can share it with the previous batch groups. They were asking for it.
All right. Okay, Frani, fine. We'll do that.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, everyone, for coming. At this point, I am forced to remember that it was Balaswamy sir who used to give the vote of thanks for every event of the department. It's really sad that we don't have him with us today for that. And I don't know, this is a catharsis of some sort for all of us, but it will never be enough. This wound will always remain fresh in our hearts. Thank you everyone for coming. I'm going to end this meeting. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sneha Garu.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, madam.